you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation, nor from the weakness that will cause us to stumble and fall. When you laugh at somebody else's fall, white or black, rich or poor, your enemy or your friend, you are laughing and opening a way for your own demise when you do that. Because to laugh and not learn, to make mockery and not to understand, is to make the same mistake yourself.
Well, how you doing?
Peace to the primates.
Yo, episode number 4?
Yeah, we at the 4th one.
We did this for a month, that means.
Yeah.
A whole month.
A whole month. We're a month in, and we here, and, you know, we still talking about nothing, right?
Now, we talk about some shit. Yeah. From time to time, we drop jewels on them.
Along with a bunch of profanity, right? Captain Profanity?
Yeah, I got scolded on the phone by Fatch's wife. Not scolded. She was like, you know, it'd be nice. Yeah, maybe you didn't curse so much. And I'm like, I can't fucking do that. There's something wrong with my brain.
She's like the de facto producer person.
I mean, that's more than my wife is. My wife hasn't even listened to it. I guess she could hear us upstairs.
Right.
And that's about it.
Right.
I'll come up from this and she'll be like, why were you talking about Valentine's Day?
How was your dinner the other night?
It was actually fucking delicious. I mean, it's just the whole, you see, the neighborhood I live in here is close to like Garden City, and then if you go even north of that, it's Roslyn.
Right.
Like, and these neighborhoods are like real cash.
Yeah, shishi fufu. Yes.
Right. So, you know, I show up in this fucking parking lot, and we're driving her truck. It's nothing to, you know, be ashamed of. It's a new truck. It's a Chevy Traverse. But they were pulling out a fucking Rolls Royce from the valet that I'm waiting for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know that people look at me in my fucking Tommy Hilfiger button-up that I wear to every fancy occasion I go to.
Okay.
In their fucking little suits and shit. They're like, this guy's going to fucking break the bank tonight for a special date. Like, these people are just having dinner.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just something special for me and my wife. We went out for a late Valentine's Day dinner.
Right.
She's been there before. She likes that place. I like it, too. I thought it was good. But, you know, the way my bank account is set up, I can't be doing that all the time when these guys, you know, they do it all the time.
Listen, as long as you were able to leave the building without having to wash dishes.
I don't even think that's a real thing. And if it was, they wouldn't want me washing them.
Why not?
Because I'm not good at washing dishes.
You don't have the Palmolive hands?
Nah, I wash the dishes here.
Okay.
I guess it'd probably be easy to wash dishes in a restaurant like that. They got that fancy machine you put them through.
Hey, listen. The first time that I ever owned a dishwasher, I was like, holy shit, where has this thing been my whole entire life?
Wait a minute, you owned a dishwasher? What do you mean by that?
I own one now.
Where's he from?
Huh?
I said, where's he from?
It's not he. Well, it's not a he. It's a she, and she's 16 years old.
Oh, shit.
No, all joking aside, my appliance.
Yeah, those are nice, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question about that, though.
Yes.
See, if it was up to my wife, I'd fully wash every dish before I put it in the dishwasher.
What for?
That's my whole fucking argument about the thing.
We might as well not even have it. What do we have it for?
Like, I put them shits in there, crusty, dirty, and I put it on
scour. A nice rinse is good.
I rinse it, but
a rinse.
This is the other problem with that. Sometimes the people in my house, including my wife, will leave dishes in the sink with shit on them.
And then it crustifies.
Yeah, it gets hard. And I tell her, I'm like, yo, you got to trust the process. You put it in there. You put it on scorching hot and scour mode.
Right.
And it just basically, I've had dishes come out of there cracked. Like, it straight up fucking melts shit off the fucking things.
Listen, plastic dishes, plastic Tupperware and everything else like that, my man, you can cook those things.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
put one bowl of spaghetti in them though, and they turn red. So I don't trust them.
So yeah, what else was going on this week?
I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in the news and all kind of. You know, you were telling me about Harvey Weinstein.
Oh yeah, my man got convicted today,
which I'm sure came as a real shocker to everyone.
And they played him. You know why?
Why?
They locked him up and didn't even take his walker. Because my man's been sporting that walker.
Yeah, well, that was a sympathy ploy.
Of course, but they locked him up and they said, "Yeah, you don't need that." You
don't. Oh, they took it from him. You mean?
He walked out of the jail, out of the courtroom in cuffs without his walker.
Ah, yeah. They were like, "Yeah, you don't need this prop anymore. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of people to assist you in bending over."
Listen, you know what? Kudos to the justice system. And, I hope that his victims feel closure now,
Yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like, any of the story. I'm not condoning his behavior, but like any of the victims, how many of these bitches, and I say bitches in the most loving way,
the most respectful
way possible. How many of them do you think were willing participants of this shit that was like all of a sudden was like, you know what? I'm sure there was some in there that really caught the dirty stick, but some, once the whistle was blown, listen, how many of you think came out the woodwork?
It's the same thing I was saying about Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby did some scumbag things by today's standard, by drugging women and having his way with them.
Right. You're not supposed to do that, right?
However, he's a powerful man, And at the time, Weinstein was a very powerful guy.
He still is.
He was the gateway. You wanted to have a career in Hollywood, you got to go see this guy. Bill Cosby was a very powerful man at the time too. And men of power, they what's that saying? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
So you're sitting there with your hand on the button, you want to see if you can make people do whatever you want them to do.
Yeah, but you could see. I never understood this thing with like the Weinstein shit. Like he could have purchased top-notch pussy every night of the week,
right?
If he wanted to, but he had to go this route where, like, what did it make him feel like he didn't have to?
It's your perversion. At this point, it's your perversion. It's not even about the fact that you have the when you have that much money and you can actually throw money and make people do stuff, that even becomes old to you. Now you want to live out perversions. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by like perversions? Like is this his fantasy to
think
fuck
about
these
it?
little...
You and I.
Right.
I would hope, but let's say me and you.
All right. You and I.
You are very. I would think that you're afraid to go to jail. For a woman to come forward and say that you did X, Y, Z.
No, I don't want to go to jail.
And I don't want to go to jail either, and especially for rape. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, a man of power has ways of trying to, like, silence a woman. Like, you just said your bank account can't afford to eat in Roslyn.
Yeah, no, I can't do fucking $300 and something dinners.
Exactly.
5 nights a week.
So if you did do something to someone, you don't have, $100,000 and a lawyer with an NDA saying, you know what, take this $100,000, go away, and never say nothing about what happened.
No, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I guess. But
so
this is like a particular brand of like scum that does this kind of shit.
Right.
I don't know if does this come after? It's just like levels to this shit. Like pussy gets boring on a regular, thing where you have to start doing shit like this. I read an article where one of the women said, and this is how they got him. I think one of these cases, he went up into the room. He met her at a hotel, booked the room, said you're coming up to the room, went in the bathroom and shot his dick up with a needle that made his dick hard, right? And they found the needle or some shit in the garbage can.
Right.
With,
Right.
So,
but again, now now if you have this much money, right? And you have this young, impressionable actress that feels like you have her future in the palm of your hand. And you're saying, you know what? I want to do something crazy. And you're like, I'm going to have her come up to the hotel room and I'm going to do something that's just going to make me feel good. And if she goes along with it, then I'll do something for her. If she doesn't go along with it, oh well, she can go and never have a career.
But that's what I mean by, like, that shit would not make me feel good. That's why, like, I don't. You have to be. You're this guy before you arrived in Hollywood. Is my point.
Most definitely.
Like, before you got all the money, before you got everything. Like, not every dude could be a sexual predator of this nature. And like, the way they describe these stories, it was like, if you look at that dude, he's one of the ugliest people you've ever seen. No homo. Like, I could just say that with confidence. Look at him.
Right.
Like, he doesn't look like the kind of dude that could pull any ass. Like,
okay.
But money changes things, and he could purchase ass.
Right.
But then I think maybe like to like force yourself on women and think that they're fucking you because.
But even think about that. You have this much money and power, right? So now that even gets old.
That's what I mean. That's crazy.
You know what I mean? That gets old. That gets too easy. It's like, let me rape a few bitches. Yes, now, you up in the ante is like doing things like, I'm gonna take this woman that has all this trust that I'm gonna do the right thing with her, and I'm gonna like jerk off in front of her.
None of these bitches fucking trusted him.
Well, of course they did.
They put themselves in these. They probably looked at him and was like, "Nah, there's no way his dick works." You know what I'm saying? The diabetes got to it. There's no way it works.
Right. Okay.
And then he went in the bathroom and hit that shit with the fucking Kung Pao sauce, and it came out like, with his little bird on. And they were like, "Oh shit, I got to do something now." And they had instant buyer's fucking remorse.
We talk about food a lot.
Yeah. Well,
every episode we talk about food, right?
Well, why wouldn't we?
But I'm just saying we talk about food a lot.
Right.
And you just like opened something up just now. We both lived on the wild side this week.
Oh God, yes. That's
both of us.
Perfect segue to get out of Harvey Weinstein's pants. Yeah. That was interesting. What happened? Talk to him. Tell him.
Listen. What was it? I don't know if it was like Tuesday or Wednesday. I got a text and you were actually utilizing your chopsticks.
Oh, yeah, I use chopsticks.
Yes, you were utilizing chopsticks, and the caption under the picture said, "Farewell, my friend."
I sent him a picture of my plate of food with the noodles on the chopstick, and I said, "Farewell, my friend."
What were you eating?
We were eating, there's a place in this town called Kumo.
Okay.
And it's like the fancy fucking sushi spot, but they also do like Thai food. I had pad Thai.
Oh, but that's Thai food. That's not even Chinese food.
This is,
I had dirty Chinese food.
See, you went, when I saw your picture, I was like, yeah, okay, he got inspired by me, but he really took it too far.
Yes, I had regular, like, chicken and broccli and dumplings.
You had some fucking egg foo young in that motherfucking plate.
Sir.
I see.
Yeah, we had all of that. Listen, that's what it was. I had the real deal,
Yeah, you did.
But anyway, also in the news, how do you feel about Dwayne Wade's controversy, his son-daughter situation?
I mean, this could get us thrown off the fucking world by talking about this. Fuck the internet. They'll just be like, all right, you guys are canceled from life. Like, you're not allowed. I mean, that's the greatest thing about this podcast. We talk about whatever we want to, but I don't have any particular set of feelings about it. I feel for him because I can't imagine, what that would be like to have a fucking son that thinks he's a daughter or a daughter that thinks he's a son, whatever.
Absolutely.
It's got to be like, it's got to be a hard thing to fucking swallow. Pause.
Excellent choice of words.
I mean, think about that. I mean, you love your son, right?
Right.
And one day his son comes home and he's like, "No, Dad, I'm your daughter." What do you do?
It's crazy. Because, because the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because we both on social media. Both of us are on social media. And, even, through the podcast page and everything else like that, watching things that are unfolding on social media.
Bro, you have no clue.
There's a lot of people that are like really taking this thing personal, right? And I'm almost like you. Like, I really don't have an opinion on this because humanity has made this something that's socially acceptable. This is the reason why this can even happen.
Yeah, but it's not though. It's not like. And then I also read on the paper like certain schools are demanding that now these children or people, whatever you want to refer to yourself as, must play ball by their birth gender.
By their birth gender, right.
So, and now that drives people crazy by saying birth gender, there's no gender. Yes, there is. This could go back to fucking, what was that? Not RoboCop, Kindergarten Cop.
Yes.
Arnold Schwarzenegger with the little kid, and he's like, boys have a penis.
Tumor.
Girls have a vagina.
Right.
You can't break it down any simpler than that. And, like, I'm all for people's rights to do whatever the fuck they want. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
But when you want to include me in your little fucking charade that you're going on,
right.
I just want, I the same way you have those beliefs in which you believe,
right.
I have them the way I believe.
Right.
I don't need to be talked into what you believe, so don't try to talk me into it. Do you?
Right.
And that's it. That's my whole stance on the whole thing.
The thing about it is, I try to say this. I have children that I love. You have children that you love, right?
Right.
With all of your heart and your soul. So you want to support your children and everything else. So it's hard as a parent to say, oh, he's wrong for supporting his son, and his son wanting to do whatever it is. As a parent, I understand that. But also, on the moral side of an outsider looking in, it's like, again.
Dude, the biggest factor in this is the kid's age.
That's the point that I was about to make.
Oh, okay.
The kid's age is like, this is not even a decision that a 12-year-old should be making.
No.
The kid hasn't even lived as a male long enough to even know that this is not the decision that he should be making.
Right. You could have some fun dropping your balls on a bitch's chin, sonny. You don't know that yet. You need to get out there and bounce them.
No, but even if
things.
he doesn't feel like even if he feels like he's going to be gay, this is not something that a 12-year-old should be doing. Well, in his developmental years. That's my take on it.
Well, this is the result of how we fucking, as a society, have hypersexualized every single fucking aspect of life.
Right.
Where it's become acceptable. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This is more than gender. This is a sexualization of things. This is not.
Right.
Because, okay, so you're a boy, you're a girl, so throw on a blue hoodie then. Rock out until you're fucking 18, then cut your dick off. Then do all the rest of the fucking hormones. Do whatever you got to do then.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why does it have to be addressed at 12?
Well, you know what it is that human beings just always want to re-engineer everything. Just on a small scale. Your son is, what grade is he in?
He's in 7th grade.
I don't know if you've heard of this term, like this terminology it's called new math.
Don't even fucking get me started.
But again, that's my point.
It's
just something stupid like that. It's like, what is new about math? What can you tell me new about a simple equation making an answer?
It used to be a simple equation. You're talking about Common Core, right?
Yes.
So that whole shit makes no fucking sense to me.
Absolutely.
It doesn't. To a lot, I've spoke to teachers that it doesn't make sense to, and they're just like, it's basically they changed the way of getting the answer.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you start off having the answer, and now the question changed.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing here? Like, especially, like, and where would they would refer to as old heads and boomers and all this bullshit? We didn't have this to carry around. There's no point in time where this will be gone for these little fucks. It'll only get better.
Right.
They'll never need to know anything. You need to know a mathematical equation. You pull up your fucking calculator.
Right.
So why you spinning my fucking wheels every day when homework comes home? If I got to look at it or my wife or whoever, because Lord knows he ain't doing good in fucking math.
Right.
So.
But the thing about it is, whose idea was it to re-engineer something that's been around since the dawn of man?
Some fucking pencil dick little dickhead sitting somewhere behind a desk.
This is what's happening with the whole masculine feminine thing. Like, everybody, women want to be men and men want to be girls. It's simple. That's what it's so crazy. Men want to dress in the most tightest things they can find in damn near women's clothes. And women just want to be like...
Do men want to do that? I personally don't know any men.
Well, you're of a certain age group.
It is a young guy thing, I suppose.
That's my thing.
But I don't know if it's because, like, if you think about when we were kids in the 80s, there was, like, the Bon Jovi rock dudes that wore tight-ass pants and shit, but they still fucked like animals, drank beer, and fucked bitches and shit.
Right.
When did we start crossing the line over into, like, all right, let's just cut this whole cock and balls off altogether. I'm going to wear these pants, and now I'm a bitch.
I don't know.
I'm a girl now.
I don't know.
It's crazy. The crazy shit too. Like, it's funny. I wrote on Facebook. I don't know if you were on before you came.
Yes.
But I was like, "Yo, we're about to do this podcast. You guys have any questions? What should we talk about?" And Cole, you know Cole from Bad Karma.
Yes.
Shout out to Cole. It's his birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Cole.
He wrote, "Talk about women's penises," because this week, dude, a couple of years ago, and I'll never forget it because it was like I was driving to the hospital to get a fucking MRI or some shit done.
Right.
And I was having an argument with this kid. He used to go by the name of a rapper named Illa Dutch.
Okay.
That was his name. He was a rapper. He was a gangster white boy rapper from fucking Sheboygan, wherever the fuck he was from.
Sheboygan.
That's my go-to. I don't know. Some bullshit place in the world.
Right.
And he was on Facebook selling beats. He had been making beats for less than a year in his opinion. At this time, I was really heavy making beats.
Right.
That was a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember. I was on there all day making beats. Yes. And he had said some sideways shit to me, and then he posted something selling beats. He was like, I got beats, exclusives, $20. And I was like, this is exactly what the fuck is wrong with the world of hip-hop.
Right.
And then he just went back and forth and told me all about myself. It graduated to the point where he told me, I'm going to come to Hempstead and shoot you. I was like, I bet you come on down.
Right.
Never happened, obviously. It's internet bullshit. I didn't have any stock in this at all.
Right.
Whatever. Fast forward to 2020.
You're about to get shot over a $20 beat.
Nah, it wasn't. It was just him, this bravado of I'm this tough rapper guy that makes beats, and he was a big Rock Marcy fan.
Right.
And he made the association with Hempstead as being gangster because of that, I suppose.
Right.
But whatever. He knew I lived over here. But
right.
So fast forward to now.
Right.
The other day I'm on the Facebook.
Right.
Or Facebook, however it's called. And somebody wrote, yo, I don't know how I'm still friends with Illa Dutch on Instagram, but apparently I am.
Right.
And I wish I could pull my fucking eyes out of my head.
Somebody said that.
Somebody said that.
Wow.
And I was like, what's up? Because the dude now is a fucking tranny. Exactly. The dude, he's I forget his pronoun. I'm sorry. But he's a transsexual man.
Living as a woman.
That's a woman. He grew his hair out. He's taking hormones to grow tits.
Did you go investigate this?
I said, where's the link?
Right.
Hit me with the link. My man fucking hit me with the link in my inbox. I went to his Instagram.
Right.
Made the mistake of clicking on his fucking Twitter.
Right.
And I'm on dude's Twitter. And he's jerking off and finger popping his ass with bitch tits and fucking painted nails. The dude that was gonna come pop me on some gangsta rapper shit. This is the world we live in today.
Right.
If you would have told me in 2017 or whatever it was, when I'm typing these comments back and forth, that fast forward to 2020, dude is gonna be on the internet popping his ass with fucking polish on his fingers, jerking off with bitch tits, I would have said, you're right.
Well, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. It's so crazy. It's so crazy that look at the whole the Caitlyn Jenner thing.
Yeah.
That's like old hat right now. That's like
I mean,
That's like nothing.
he inspired a whole generation.
But that's the whole point. The whole point is this whole thing with Dwayne Wade's son is so crazy because it's to the point now where they're involving children into this. It was already crazy when it was just adults, but now children are being involved in this. And this is like a very high profile child. So now this is like, oh, he's my hero. So now I can feel the courage to do it and blah, blah, blah. So now, where does that leave us as parents? If you're vehemently objecting to that, does that now classify you as a bad parent?
Dude, it classifies you as a bad person.
That's what I'm saying.
In the eyes of the world. Like, dude, Sean got thrown off of fucking Twitter for calling somebody a retard.
Right.
And this dude is finger popping his ass on Twitter. Like, how do you fucking differentiate? Where do you draw this fucking line? Like, what would be worse for anybody impressionable to stumble upon on Twitter? Right. A fucking dude with tits fingering his ass jerking off, or somebody calling somebody a retard?
Right.
Like, this is the world we live in. I can't make fucking sense of it, so I stopped trying. And I just do me.
Right.
It don't bother me. None of this shit fucking bothers me because, honestly, what it is like, you have kids, you have a job, you have a responsibility to these kids to not change the way the world they live in is supposed to be perceived by them. Like, you tell them how the world is, and don't let the media dictate to them how the world is, because they're going to grow up thinking that that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, but what's so whack about it is that, and think about this too, this is another dynamic as well. My son is 3 years old. My son will be 4 very soon. And he, like every other child around him, is already jacked into YouTube and into Nick Jr. online and everything else, and watching all his kid shows and everything else like that, which is like such a scary thing because there can be a time where he's doing something and he could easily stumble on something he shouldn't see.
Bro, I don't know if you watch the YouTube while it's playing. They put ads in the children's videos that have nothing to do with anything a kid should be fucking watching.
Exactly. So again, I have a 3-year-old, and a 16-year-old, the dishwasher. You know? So at the end of the day, if I know that my 3-year-old is in danger of seeing things, what do you think my 16-year-old is watching when I'm not like hovering over and you know?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So these messages are being sent at such an alarming pace that, again, the children are being conditioned that this type of behavior is normal, and they're bombarded with so much of it that by the time a person like yourself or me says no, this is not normal, it makes it look like we're abnormal.
I know.
For saying that it's not normal.
Yeah, dude, I have these conversations, arguments, whatever the fuck you want to call them, all the time with my son.
Right.
Where he has like 6 different fucking YouTube accounts.
Right.
And he comments and he talks to people that he has no idea who the fuck they are in the world.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, stay the fuck off YouTube. He thinks I'm just being a big dick.
Right.
Like, nah, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Absolutely.
You don't know who the fuck you're talking to.
Right.
And you're fucking 13.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, we were 13 in the world with real people, you know. Right. We were in situations, but it was real. Like, you knew if the dude down the block touched your little dick, you could tell your dad, and he can go over there and kill him. Like, easy. Right. Like, now it's like some dude could be mentally fucking with you somewhere across the world somewhere and planting these little seeds in your head, and I will never know about it if you're on fucking YouTube hiding everything you fucking do.
Right.
It's just bad, man. It's all fucking bad.
And what's totally messed up about it is the fact that the more that you try to regulate and the more you try to like navigate through through like there's a app that I have on my phone that I can actually control my daughter's phone, right? I can control her access to the phone.
Yeah, I got that on all his shit.
Yeah, but do you know that there are YouTube videos that tell them how to jailbreak these apps?
Of course.
Like, this is the thing. This is what we got. This is what we have to deal with. You know what I mean?
Fortunately for me,
Yes, sir.
I am fucking, obviously you see where we're at here, and I understand all of
Yes.
this technology.
Right.
Where he's so fucking, like, stunad, which is in Italian, like, fucking dumb.
Right.
Where I tell him, I could see everything you do on your phone.
Right.
And he still does it. So it's like, yeah, I guess, you know, to the point where I have to take the iPad.
Yes.
I had to take the phone away.
Right.
Like, you know, maybe we'll learn one day, but I don't know. Who knows? It's just not going to go down the way, you know, they think it's going to go down.
And so, you know what's so funny? It's hilarious to me. I never knew how easy it was to get my point across, then just unplug the Wi-Fi.
That's it.
Unplug it. That's it. There's your point. It's across. You render all devices useless right now.
That's right. That's a nice fucking paperweight you got there. I don't know when this fucking bullshit's going to end.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, you know, after that, we got they had a big memorial today in the Staples Center for Kobe Bryant and Gianna.
Did you watch it?
I watched some of it. And, you know, again, the guy meant a lot to a lot of people, you know? I wasn't personally a fan of Kobe Bryant because I'm a Knicks fan, so I wasn't personally a fan of Kobe Bryant.
You weren't a fan of watching him whoop your team's ass, is what it was?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But just like Jordan in the 90s era, even if you weren't a fan of Jordan, you had to respect him. And same thing with Kobe Bryant. You had to respect him. The man was just phenomenal. He was a phenomenal talent on the basketball court. So, you know, he left a legacy behind. And more importantly, he left behind a wife and kids. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, beyond anything he's achieved in sports, it's tragic, bro. Like,
Yeah.
the thing, you know, it's him and his daughter died in a fucking helicopter crash, bro. It's
Right.
You don't want to see that happen to nobody, especially somebody that's made such a huge impact on the world of sports and even the world to a lot of people, man. I know people that don't even play sports. There's a lot of people that get really upset by shit that happens like this. Like, it really affects them.
Right.
Because it's like, this is somebody that's bigger than a lot of people's lives will ever be.
Right.
And then when they realize that shit could just be just yanked out from under you like that fast, it's a real wake-up call for...
Absolutely. But, you know, like, as we said the first time we were talking about it, it makes you understand that, like, every moment in time is precious, you know?
Yeah.
The present is the present. It's a gift. You have to live every moment like it could be your last. You never know what could happen. You know what I mean? You know. And, you know, again, like we said before, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant and Gianna Bryant. And, you know, as we see, this guy is gone, but he'll never be forgotten. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I caught a couple of clips. I seen one of Jordan. He was making a little speech, and he was crying, bawling. And he was like, you know, I just want to say one thing. I don't remember how he worded it, but he was like, this is bullshit that now for the next 3 years.
He said Kobe set him up to be a meme for the next 3 years. And, you know, the crowd, it was a thunderous laugh because, you know, at least he was acknowledging the fact that he knows the crying meme is like, oh my God, like out there all over the place. The internet has no chill button, sir.
None.
You know.
Oh, bro. Talk about, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, moving on from the Kobe shit, man. For real. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
All much respect due.
Right.
And, but yeah, speaking of the internet having no chill button.
Yes.
Do you just watch random shit on like Amazon and shit.
Most definitely.
Okay, so I don't know if you've ever seen this documentary. It was about a dude who made a rocket ship in his garage.
No, I never saw that.
I watched this. It was an interesting documentary because the whole time you're watching this shit, and
like a real rocket ship.
He made a motherfucking rocket ship. He was some sort of engineer. He wasn't like some fucking dumb idiot, retarded fucking.
Okay.
Just like
he wasn't just a regular.
Like if I decided to make a rocket ship,
a
right?
regular DIYer.
Right. Yeah. He went and did it. I forget what his credentials were, but like he brought a bunch of people in that had all kinds of different credentials in rocket ship building, whatever.
Okay.
So the whole documentary was about how this guy who built this fucking rocket ship wanted to prove how the earth was flat, and he was going to fly himself up high enough, I believe it was 35,000 feet, to the point where, exactly, right there, you got the guy right there. Okay. So he wanted to fly up to this point with cameras on his rocket ship and take pictures of the fact that the world is flat. Mm-hmm. So this shows him doing tests. This documentary is like a year or two old, maybe a little bit more, and it shows him building it and test launching and all this shit. And you watch the thing, and the last part of it...
Holy shit.
Bro,
okay.
The last part of it, he had... One of the last... In the documentary, he had a really rough landing. Like, he shot this shit up in the air and fucking came... He's like fucking 70, the dude.
Right.
And he launched it, came down, and fucking... You know, it was rough, but he made it out.
Right.
So that was a couple years ago. And apparently they were still filming for this show, that he got another deal to make the show.
Right.
And over the past week, he had done another launch. And as soon as the shit went up, it was all bad, bro. The fucking rocket went up. And as it's launching off this little makeshift fucking launcher, you see the parachute coming out of the fucking rocket that was supposed to shoot up, and then the parachute would deploy at the top.
And
it
soft
would,
landing.
Yeah, it would gracefully come back to ground. Even though the last time he was probably doing about fucking 70 when he hit the ground, he got out of it.
Right.
This time, that shit went up in the air, no fucking parachute. The parachute shot out the back of it and went on fucking just flames, just fell on the floor.
Right.
And this fucking rocket ship goes into the fucking sky, mad fucking high, and just starts coming down with no parachute. And this fucking dude, it came down and hit the ground and disintegrated. It was gone.
So he was on it.
Of course, he was in it, and that was it. And to me, like watching that shit after I watched the documentary, and he said many times, he's like, every time I get in this thing, it's a 50-50 chance. I'm gonna get in and die, or I'm going to get in and get out.
Right.
It almost seemed to me, like after the last documentary I watched about him, that he did this on purpose.
You know what? Here's here's how I feel about this. It's nice to try to do things and big dreams and aspirations and certain things. But I always said this. You know like how they have those submersibles that can go like through all of these depths and you know you can be in the water and be like 1,000 feet under the water and all kinds of stuff.
Submarine?
Yeah, but just like the one-man submersibles.
I've never seen.
It looks like a little globe.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
you
got
hold
the lights and you got lights on it and you're in it. Anyway, my point being, submarines, submersibles, whatever it is. Rockets, planes, helicopters, and everything else like that. When I was growing up, my reasoning for not wanting to do anything like that was like this. I wasn't built with wings to fly. Flying is meant for creatures with wings. I have legs, so I'm meant to be a land animal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have fins and flippers and all of that stuff. So I'm not supposed to be in the water like that. Yes, it's nice to swim and everything else like that, but when we start talking about going down deep with atmospheric pressures and things changing and everything else like that.
Fuck atmospheric pressures, B. You ever watch Shark Week? Fucking crazy. I try to tell this shit to my wife when we go to these fucking exotic islands. She's like, you don't want to swim with the dolphins?
Hey, listen.
I'm like, no.
I'm going to tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you a story. We were in the Cayman Islands, right? So we're in the Cayman Islands. Me and my wife, we're in the Cayman Islands. So I'm jet skiing. She's on shore. She's on the beach. So I'm out jet skiing. I'm going back and forth. They have it's not roped off, but it's like they have buoys that you can't go past.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like Mr. Daredevil, I want to go all the way and be able to touch the buoy. That's how far out I am. Okay, good. Now, in the United States, there's no water as clear as anything in the Caribbean.
Right.
Period. End of story. I'm not even having that argument with anybody. The place where I was at, the water was like glass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see everything.
So I'm now I'm not an awesome like jet skier. So when it's time to turn, I slow down, turn, and then pick up speed again. So upon one of my turns, I slow down, and I just happen to look down, and I'm seeing creatures that are swimming under me that are very large, like the size of the jet ski and better. And I said, okay, that's my cue. I'm out of here. I go right back to the shore. That's it. She's like, my wife's like, oh, what's that? Nope, that's it. I had enough. You know what I mean? I don't need, because I'm saying to myself, the guy on the shore, he goes, if you fall off, we'll be to you within a minute. Because they're supposed to be like,
you know how many legs they can eat?
But that's my that's my thing. It's like at this point, I'm already maimed by the time you get to me.
Yeah, you're just gonna be like a body with no legs.
Exactly.
And arms.
It's already crime scene now by the time you get to me. Now, we also went to this they have a thing where you can swim with the stingray.
Yeah.
You been to anything like that? Like
I saw it, but I ain't fucking doing it.
All right.
I know what happened to Steve Irwin.
So we go now. You take the boat out, and they get to the place where they have you swim with the stingray. No BS. When you get out, you're in the middle of the ocean, but it's called like it's something table, right? So the sand is built up to where you in the middle of the ocean, but you're like waist deep.
Yeah, it's like a little sandbar.
Yeah, it's like a sandbar, but they call it something table, whatever. Anyhow, the boats, all of these boats, they park in a circle and they keep the engines running. So the people, we all get off the boat, you get off the back of the boat, and now the stingray, they come and they give you like clams and things like that to feed the stingray, and they come and they take them out of your hand and whatever. So anyway, on the way back, I'm talking to the captain because, just chopping it up with him while he's driving back. And he's like, well, if you looked at an aerial view from like a helicopter or something, you would see the boats parked in a circle. You would see the people, the tourists, in the water. You'd see the stingray swimming in between the people. And you would see the sharks patrolling on the outer rim of the boats, waiting for the boats to leave, because sharks are afraid of engines. That's why they keep the engines running. But needless to say, just knowing that you're in shark-infested water, it was like, wow, you best believe they can't tell anybody that.
Yeah.
Before the exhibit, you know what I mean?
You could tell my wife because she'd still go in.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Her shit to me is like, she talks about, like we went to the Bahamas. She went swimming with the dolphins. Right. They had the stingray tanks. They had all this fucking, all this bullshit. She always talks about she wants to go fucking skydiving. It's like, yo, how bad do you want to die, bitch? Like, if I get a gun in the closet, you want to blast yourself? Like, what are you doing? Like,
listen, skydiving is even, well, see, I'm a bit heavier than you are, so.
I exceed the weight limit in my brain for skydiving, so I don't care if they'll let me do it. First of all, like, Nah, I'm good. I'm not jumping out of any fucking planes.
Right. Why not?
Well,
You
I
only
mean,
live once.
Yeah, and I don't want to die on the back of some dude fucking with a bad parachute. Like,
And think about it. You got to be hugged up with this guy and like strapped to a dude, you know.
find a dude big enough to put me on his back. First of all, like, how would that look if you got like a regular sized dude? Dude is like 5'8", $160, and he got my big ass.
Not with me. That's not happening.
Not happening with me either. The whole world is gonna change for him. He's
Right.
like, oh shit,
Absolutely.
this is not turning like it used to. Fuck that. I'm not going out like that.
Yeah, but here's, you know, would you drive a race car on the track?
Sure,
I'm talking about top speed.
I'll go at a speed I'm comfortable at.
No. I'm talking about would you open it up to and do its capacity?
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to say yes because I've had quite a few fast cars that I've really pushed to their limits and I
Right.
thought it was fun.
Right.
But top speed, you're talking about 200 miles an hour, bro. Like everything, like you can't fuck up at 200 miles an hour.
Yes, you have to be.
And I know that you can't fuck up at 140 miles an hour.
You can't fuck up at 100 miles an hour, man.
Nah, not too easily. I have before, and it was very bad. I was driving a Honda Del Sol. Do you remember those?
Oh my God,
It was a Honda,
they're this big.
and it had a B18 Honda engine in it that I had dropped in there. That's the dual overhead cam.
Yeah, but
1.8.
why would you do that?
Because I was fucking 21 years old and I liked Rice Rockets. But anyway,
Right.
so I'm on where you merge onto the Wantor Parkway from the Southern State. Have you ever done that before?
Yes.
Where it comes around a big ass fucking loop.
Yeah.
I hit it coming off the Southern State. I had to be doing 70 when I went into the fucking turn, and then I just yanked it, just fucking let it go, bro. As soon as the fucking wheels gripped, the car fucking went whoop, and spun. It spun on Wantor Parkway probably 5-6 times in circles like this.
Right.
Until finally my shit just went into the grass, like embanked onto the side there.
Right.
It's kind of like slopey.
Did you hit anything?
I didn't hit shit. And I never did no dumb shit like that again. I sped like a motherfucker. Like I got 100 and something ticket in the fucking Cadillac on the Clearview.
Yeah.
But I was just going straight. This was just, I was really retarded.
No, the Clearview was retarded too. Because if anybody, especially people in New York, the Clearview is the most heavily policed highway in the city of New York.
Yeah, I was,
What were you thinking?
I just got a Cadillac CTS coupe.
Yes, but you could have waited until you got on another highway. That highway is the most heavily
I was fucking stupid. I don't know. I wasn't thinking, obviously. That's why I almost lost my license. I think I got 140 in a fucking 50.
You better be glad they didn't cuff you up.
He wanted to.
Yeah.
These were the dudes that used to come to West Farms and wash their shit.
Yes. You better be glad that they didn't cuff you up that day. You know? It's crazy.
I almost, like, as mad as he was,
Right.
I told him I need my license and all this. Like, he could have really fucked the shit out of me.
Oh, yes.
He could have took the car. I could have went to jail. It was a
Yes.
whole big fucking thing, bro. But
what's that surcharge that they charge you?
I paid it for 4 fucking years.
What is it? What do they call it?
It's called the Driver Responsibility, whatever the fucking Driver Responsibility Act, I think it was.
Yeah.
Where they charge you, I believe it was like $1,000 over 3 years or $1,200. Some crazy. It's not that crazy when you think about it, but every year you get banged for fucking $400 or some shit. It's like,
crazy.
oh, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
Every year at the same time. And you had to pay that shit. But since all of that bullshit, I have severely fucking, I don't buy cars. Like, my Infiniti is the fastest car I've ever owned.
Right.
And I don't.
Well, the fastest stock car you've ever owned.
No, that car is faster than any car I
Even
ever.
the CTS?
That car is dangerous, bro. Because it's lighter than the CTS, and it's a twin turbo.
Everything is aluminum under there.
That car is it's a fucking rocket ship, dude.
Right.
But I don't buy cars with the intention of beating the piss out of them. Like I just,
You just you just make blogs in the car.
Yeah, but I never. When I do those shits, I don't be zooming like an asshole. I'm just put it up there, start talking. But yeah, I'm done with the dumb fucking. So to answer your question, I find we do this a lot. You ask me a question and I answer it 3 minutes later. No, I will not do 200 miles per hour in a race car. I don't want to die a fiery fucking death.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
I want to get old. I want to see my daughter go to college and become a doctor.
Right.
And then she could take care of me. Or my son, maybe he'll be a lawyer or a doctor. I don't know. I just don't want to die in an accident.
Makes sense. It makes sense. What was this? I don't know.
Sure.
There's been like a big. My wife was telling me there's like a big thing going on with like bullying right now. Like this is the big thing. Like
she's talking about the little midget dude.
Yeah, like what is this whole like thing that she's talking about? This whole bullying.
There was like a 9-year-old kid who has like dwarfism from like somewhere in like Wales or Australia or something.
Australia, I believe.
Australia, right. And they posted a video. The mother posted a video of him online crying. He want to kill himself because he's getting bullied or some shit.
Right.
And then Brad Williams, the comedian, I don't know if you know who he is. He's a midget.
Okay.
And he had just got in some fucking hot water a couple months ago for telling a story about how he was on a tour bus with, I believe, he was a tour with Carlos Mencia.
Okay.
And he told a story about how they used to bring bitches on the bus and then tell them they were about to fuck Carlos Mencia and turn the lights out and let the midget fuck him. Let Brad Williams fuck him. And it's a funny story, but he didn't realize when he told that story that basically the world that we live in today is going to perceive that as he was raping these bitches.
Yeah.
And after the story came out, he was like, "Oh, it's part of my comedy act. It never happened." And you can't take nothing like that back in this day and age.
No, you can't.
So they threw him under the bus. They canceled all kinds of shows. The whole fucking routine.
Right.
So this video of this kid, the midget kid, surfaces, and Brad Williams shares the video and says whatever, and he obviously has a huge following on social media, and they got this fucking kid donations up into like a couple $100,000.
$350,000.
Yeah. So $350,000, and then it comes out that the world starts accusing this 9-year-old kid of being an 18-year-old kid because on his Instagram, he posted pictures of him at like a family member's birthday party with a big 18 in the background, and he was giving the finger, and he wasn't acting 9. But again, this is the world we live in today where 9-year-olds act like they're fucking 25.
Right.
And it turns out that he is 9. He's just had really shitty parenting.
Right.
So,
or to take it even back to what we talked about, the imagery that he's jacked into and seeing is providing him the means to do these type of things.
You shouldn't be 9 years old on fucking Instagram. Like, yo.
Listen, one of the greatest things, when I was 9 years old, the greatest thing to me was what? Thundercats? G.I. Joe? Transformers? Come on. Transformers was so big to us at 9 years old that we started watching movies of Transformers as adults.
Yeah.
I mean, now at 9 years old, a kid can fake out the whole of humanity and have people thinking that he's 10 years older.
He certainly didn't look it, but they were trying. Again, this was the whole, like, it's weird. It's like, I made a post about this on Facebook. It's like, it seems like every so often, if you are on Facebook,
right,
there's becomes some cultural phenomenon
right
that happens where the world ingests it and then becomes divided and they pick sides. Like, he's a piece of shit. Right. He's a good kid.
Right.
His mother. Blah, 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 blah. And they just bicker back and forth. And they have these wars about shit they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
Right. Absolutely.
And that just drives the world forward. Now, the kid got his $350K. On to the next thing. I'd say Monday or Tuesday of next week, we'll have a new fucking phenomenon on the internet that we're all going to be enraged over.
Yeah, but see, here's the whole thing about the whole bullying thing. I don't know. Like, I feel that also these kids are so like fragile these days.
Soft.
They're like fragile. You can't tell them anything without it being like, let me jump in my feelings and go harm myself, because I just can't cope, This is where we're going.
That's because they never got the shit kicked out of them. Like this is a big, in my opinion, when I was like, the way I see the way the kids are reprimanded, the way we're forced to reprimand our children,
yes,
is way different from how we were reprimanded. I don't know about you.
Yes.
When I fucked up, my father let me know I fucked up. He didn't live with us. He left by the time I was like 10, 11 years old.
Right.
But if my mother called him and was like, yo, I got a call today from the principal, he was just like, I bet. I would know I fucked up because there'd be a fucking 86 Cadillac parked in front of my house when I got home. Mm-hmm. And I would say, oh, shit, I'm fucked.
Right.
Because he'd be like, what happened at school today? Come here. He'd give me, you met my father. Yeah. My father's fucking 6'5".
What do you mean I met your father?
He could grab me from across the room.
Yeah.
And he would yoke me up and put the fear of God into me. Because I was scared of my dad until I was like fucking 20.
Listen. When we first met, all right, the first time your father stopped by to check on us at work,
yeah,
I was like, yes, sir, Mr. LaCastro, sir.
He's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, and not to mention he was a boss at the time too. So it was like it was a twofold thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
pleases and thank yous. You know what I mean?
But that's the whole thing. Now it's like I'm a big motherfucker too. Not as big as my dad, but to my son, I'm fucking 3 times the size of him.
Yes.
He doesn't respect that. There's no. I mean,
well, that's because you can't use violence.
Right.
Anymore.
I can't.
And it's also this bullying thing spans past, if someone's bullying you in the school, you can now go to your school and say, my parents are bullying me at home.
You can't do that in my house because you'll have nowhere to live. But you might. I mean, I'd be like, if they came here, I'd be like, you're right. Take them, put them in foster home.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying.
I get it. Yeah, but that shit is severely fucking everything up. It goes into all the other shit we were talking about.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is gonna happen 20 years from now?
Right.
When all of these fucks are adults.
Listen, my father, rest in peace. My father used to tell me, he used to look at me with like disgust when I was a teenager. And he would like, you know what? One day your generation is going to run this country and I hope I'm dead.
Shit.
And I used to get so offended by that. Like, wow, like how do you even think like that? But like now being at an age where I'm the parent, I so understand what he's saying.
I get it too, and our generation, at least we have the core of shit that they instilled in us.
Right.
And that's why my mission before I fucking am dead myself is to instill the fuck out of all this shit into my son and daughter.
Right.
Like, because it's not wrong. Like, it's brash, it's fucked up sometimes where you have, like, if you listen to me talk, the shit that comes out of my mouth is not politically correct. It's not sensitive. It's not... it's not this fluff your pillow, mint up your ass bullshit that the world wants you to say.
Right.
But it'll do a hell of a lot more for my kids than me fucking telling them everything's going to be okay and everybody should get a trophy and everybody's special. Right. No. Because when you go out into the real world and somebody slaps the fucking shit out of you because you're a little bitch.
Right.
This is why.
Right. It's like, also, too, it's like, I guess, we looked at as being old and we're archaic and everything else like that in our views and everything. There's people that are going to get in the comments and tell us that we're like Neanderthals right now, the way we talk.
I mean, it is what it is. They don't
Here's the thing. I'll be a Neanderthal, but guess what? I'm raising one. I'm going to raise one and he's going to have those values as well. Because the thing about it is that the way that things are going right now, the way that things are going is like there's a definite agenda in the air. I put up a meme. I don't know if you saw it.
What did it say?
I put up a meme on Facebook not too long ago. And it said black boy goes and says that he wants to wear dreadlocks to school. And they call him a thug. They say he can't graduate and everything else like that. And blah, blah, blah. And he says, all right, well, how about a dress? And everybody's applauding the fact that he has the courage to wear a dress. That's where we're headed.
I think that as long as our generation is alive, there will be people fucking walking through the streets carrying this torch that we carry. Hey, listen, man, you want to wear a dress, wear a fucking dress.
Exactly.
I really don't fucking care. I really don't care. Like, I might walk past you and be like, you know, say some shit.
Yes, but
like,
here's the thing. You can do whatever you want to do, but don't take my right to not like it. That's my point. If I don't like it, I don't like it.
To me, it's like if I walked into the bodega to get a soda and some chips,
right,
and there was a young man in a dress standing there,
right,
I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't want violence. I wouldn't want to fight you.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, nice dress, fella. I'd laugh. I just want to joke.
But here's my thing. If I show any type of disdain or discomfort for this, then I'm like this monster that needs to be penalized. If I don't like it, I don't like it.
Do you know who made that rule?
Who made that rule?
Other dudes in a dress. So it's like, are we gonna lose any sleep?
Yeah, but that's the problem that I have. I don't care. I really don't care what people want to do. You can walk around and identify as a cat or a dog. I don't care what you do. That's your prerogative. But if I'm saying, no, I don't agree with that. No, that goes against my moral compass. No, ethically, I think that's wrong. Then why am I looked at as the villain?
Well, it's just because these people want to fight about it. Because if you're not going to volunteer that information,
right?
Unless they force their shit on you,
right?
You'll let them fucking live. You'll be like, be over there and do you. But then when it becomes of, you have to like my dress. You have to like it if your son wears a dress.
No.
Nah, fam, mind your own fucking business.
Exactly.
Be like
that's the point. Is where
it.
That's the point that we have where we have contention. It's like, I'm not trying to force feed heterosexuality to you. You don't want to be a heterosexual, that's fine. More power to you. I'm not condemning you or judging you. But now, you cannot force your LGBTQ, whatever, how many other letters you want to put onto it. You can't force those views to me. Because I'm not, why do I have to accept it? If I don't live that way, why do I have to accept it?
Well, I mean, the only reason why you would... See, this is the other thing, too, about this. Like, there's this whole... Like, and there's people that are in our age group, grew up the same way we did.
Right.
That are so extra accepting of all of this bullshit online that it almost makes me think they put on a fucking ski mask and go out and punch dudes in dresses. It's like, yo, I know you. So, are you gonna take a dress out the closet soon, or what? Like, why are you spearheading this?
It's the same thing when you have people from the boom bap era that are so like quick to like, oh yeah, I'm into drill music. Like, how?
I don't know what that is, but no,
you understand what I'm saying?
I get why. I know why. I can answer the how with the why. It's because a lot of these dudes are so desperate to have one single fucking ounce of achievement in hip-hop that they'll try and stick themselves to anything that's popping so they could achieve these goals that they've never been able to accomplish throughout all of the years of trying.
Listen, our time of hip-hop was so drastically different from the time before, right? Because that time before was an age group that came in, because we're like second generation hip hop.
Yeah.
So maybe like borderline third, because, you know, they say 88 was the first like golden era in 88, like 88 to 86 to 88. But then it was another in like 93. So you figure like third generation. But I say all that to say, guys came in, they started it, they aged out. Guys came in after them, and then they aged out. We can't, our core people that we listen to, they came in and they aged out. So that's why I say, like, if you're in a certain age group, why are you assimilating to something that's you're aged out of? You know, it doesn't make, like, I was skeeving my daughter out one day because I was naming like a couple of these different artists that she listens to. And just the fact that I knew them and knew their songs, you know. Oh yeah, rest in peace to this little dude, Pop Smoke, because he was like at the forefront of this New York drill music. So anyway, he passed away this week. When I was saying a couple of people that she listened to, she was all skeeved out because, you know, I'm like the oldest dude to ever live to her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like Father Time old to her. So, but I'm not sitting there trying to bump this music. Even if I'm aware of it, I'm only aware of it because I'm like listening to the radio, and like Hot 97 is into like programming and playing all this new stuff. So if you like bouncing around the radio, you can hear this stuff. But my point is, when I see guys that are our age that try to identify with it, and they want to, like, you know, either A, be way into it or try to do songs that sound like it, I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Like I said, they're just trying to get a piece of the fucking pie. I guess they don't realize how ridiculous they look. And another thing is also, like, a lot of these motherfuckers, they don't listen to, like, they listen to what's hot because they be hanging around motherfuckers younger than them. Right. Bitches younger than them. And they're trying to fucking, you know.
But why is it that now, this goes right into the point of this. Why is it that rock bands that are older than dirt can mount up, come out of their nursing homes, and go on a tour? Whereas hip hop artists that are older, but not even old as these guys, can like not be on the road doing things like that.
Well, they can, though, because Wu-Tang could sell out anywhere.
Right.
Nas could sell out. Jay-Z could sell out. Eminem could sell out.
Right.
These mega stars. Like, hip-hop is very popular for people in our age, and it's different than, like, if you look at a band, because these bands sold way more fucking units. Like, they're comparable. The only people in hip-hop comparable to Bon Jovi are like Eminem or Jay-Z that broke that threshold where it became fucking, my mom knows who they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My mom knows who Wu-Tang is.
Right.
My mom knows who Jay-Z is.
Right.
She might not necessarily go to a Jay-Z concert.
Right.
But when you become that much of a household name, you are a fucking superstar.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, these concerts where you see these older bands, they're old people there. This is not like, there's people like from that era that are at these concerts. My thing is, people that are in our age group, are they trying to support
some people are. And that's believe it or not, who it is, and this is where it gets it gets funny. Like, you know my brother-in-law, Manny?
Yes.
Die-hard hip-hop fan. He just went to that Loud, whatever the fuck it was. Every time Wu-Tang comes remotely close to Here We Go.
Right.
You know why? Because he's not a fucking rapper. He's a fan. He's always been a fan. Mm-hmm. He's not, like, you know, Like a guy that, this is the difference between like a dude who likes like Steely Dan and plays the guitar will go respect Steely Dan and go see them motherfuckers play. If they, I'm just naming names, the Doors, whoever the fuck. I'm naming probably a bunch of dead rock bands because I don't know. I just know these big ass names. Aerosmith.
Right.
Dude who loves the guitar will go see Aerosmith.
Right.
Because it's a different, like rappers don't, it hurts them that they didn't have that level of success.
Right.
So it's hard for them to support it. And that's why older generations of hip hop, it's just gonna, unless you have that mass appeal where like you have a ton of fans or, you know, like that loud shit, they grouped a bunch of these artists together that were huge. So it made sense to have this big night of performances in a big venue. But it would be hard for any of these dudes to go play Jones Beach by themselves. Besides, like I'm talking about like if Busta Rhymes went by himself to Jones Beach, I don't know if he could sell it out.
That's my point. Well, why not?
Busta probably could in Long Island. But I'm saying, like, I'm trying to think of somebody that's sort of like a lower level, like, dude.
All right, EPMD. Could they sell out Jones Beach?
By themselves? I don't know.
That's my point.
I don't know.
And those are Long Island natives.
That's why it might be a bad example. EPMD might be. Jones Beach is not a huge capacity. Say Nassau Coliseum. Jones Beach is like, I think, 3,000 or 4,000. Nassau Coliseum.
Nikon? The Nikon?
The one on the water down there, yeah.
That's only 3,000?
Look it up. You find it out right now. I'm pretty sure. What is that? It's telling us, oh, you have a virus threat. You was looking at porn. Oh, shit. We're at an hour and 13 minutes. But, yeah, man, that's what it is. It's like fucking, they don't get the same support, rap artists, as these other bands and rock music get, because I believe that hip hop fans are sort of fickle. They grew up listening to this shit, and then they got older and decided that they weren't about that life.
15,000. You 12,000 off, my man, because they did.
I don't know.
They did Rock the Bells there.
I remember. I was there.
Yeah. So you know.
15,000. And what is Nassau Coliseum? It's got to be more than that.
Nassau
right?
Coliseum's probably like 20.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seemed, the last time I went there,
Nassau Coliseum is not that much.
I seen this dude John Bellion, who's from Long Island. He's sort of like does what Drake does, where he raps and sings and like, but he's, oh shit, it's Nassau Coliseum is smaller than fucking Jones Beach. That's crazy.
You're a Long Island lifer, and you just botched that whole thing.
All right, man.
And you know what? On that note, we're gonna close this episode because he needs some sleep.
I need to go fucking study the capacity of Long Island venues. I seriously thought that Jones Beach was smaller than that. I guess because Nassau Coliseum is round and Jones Beach goes straight back. Well, I don't know. All right. I'm fucking retarded.
No,
all right, yo.
Don't say that.
I'm R-worded.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you for joining us.
All right.
I hope I didn't upset you guys too much. And if I did, then you can also pull your pants down, jam a finger up your ass, and masturbate with boy titties on Twitter. Yeah, man. All right, yo. We're out this bitch. Peace.